I'm Tim from As I Lay Dying.
Chris, Lamb of God.
Randy from the Lamb of God.
Nick, As I Lay Dying.
They had a UK headlining tour and we were opening up, and yeah, that's it. It's funny that we live in the same country, but we met overseas.
Well, we got along great from the beginning. We had a good time,
I think these guys have stayed pretty good looking, but we're a big mess.
The new wave of American heavy metal was a term invented by journalists to describe a few bands that were all kind of coming up at the same time. None of us went around getting new wave of American metal tattoos or anything, you know what I mean? None of us really knew that there was a new wave of American heavy metal. We're just bands,
It was a name that was kind of given to us, although it wasn't our intention to be those sort of bands. We were all just trying to do what we did and, try and be as good as we could doing what we were doing.
It still comes up all the time. And like Randy said, it's just a way to lump everybody into the same. But everybody had a different way of doing things and made different decisions, and there was no clear kind of leader of the pack to show everybody else how to do it. And along the way, people made bad decisions, and those bands aren't really around anymore. And there's a couple left.
I'd rather be called New Wave of American Heavy Metal than a lot of other names that that bands get. So.
In London at the clubs at the Astoria, we did 2 sold-out shows as main support for Slayer.
How was it?
What do you think, man? With Slayer, it was amazing. That was the first time we ever played with them.
For As I Lay Dying?
We've only played with them on big festivals, so I wouldn't say that we've ever played back-to-back or anything. But oddly enough, the road crew are guys that we've known quite a bit over the years, and just on different tours and stuff. And I'd probably say we have more history with the road crew than we do with the actual band. In Germany, I think the first time we came to Germany as a headliner and had a sold-out crowd, I think to us we realized we're this far from home, we have this much support, and it made us feel like a second home over here.
And for Lamb of God?
There's so many different shows along the way, and big shows and small shows. For me personally, I still remember the first time we played CBGB's, which was a punk rock club in New York City, which first the goal is to play a party, and then it's to play the local bar, and then the local club, and then if you can get into CBGB's, that was it. And so that was a pretty special moment for me.
The Ramones came up there, So Ralphie Boy from Disassociate had put on a festival at CB's called the Mad Grinders Ball, and we opened it up at about 2 in the afternoon, and there were about 15 bands, and I thought I was a fucking rock star when we played CBGB's, It's amazing. Worst toilet in the United States, but
that's mandatory, I guess, for CBGB's.
Yeah, I actually pooped on it and sat on it one time, There was no door to it, so girls just walking by, you're just sitting there shitting. It's all right,
Did As I Lay Dying ever play there?
At CBGB's? No, we missed it. I think we went to a show there on an off day, but that was before it closed down.
We grew up on the wrong coast, or from the West Coast, so to us, CBGB's was legendary in Ramones stories, but none of us had really gone to shows there.
You guys played the Whiskey? See, we've never played the Whiskey, and that's
really?
a legendary place.
Yeah.
So.
But you did, I guess.
Yeah, so for each side of the U.S., we have our own, punk rock, legendary clubs. Lamb of God, they've done a Metallica tour, but for us, we've never done one, so I think that'd be a unique and awesome experience. And then I don't know if I'm allowed to bring anybody back from the dead, but probably be nice to, bring somebody back from the dead and maybe do a Pantera tour or something.
You one?
Me personally, I'd love to get the Refused back together and do a tour with them, and maybe the Refused, Meshuggah, and Lamb of God sounds like a pretty whoop-ass tour.
Where all the math students go to.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You one?
That's actually feasible too. That could happen.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
You one?
The Descendants and the Bad Brains and Us.
Interesting.
I'm with Tim. Well, I would just say I'd like to do a Metallica tour at some point. I think it'd be fun and great band. So the American band Doth, they're a band that I seem to love a lot, but we can never get on a tour with. So it would be. I think that's something that can realistically happen at some point. So that's a band I could foreseeably see us touring with at some point that I would love.